We've had enough of this nonsense.
Joke of the evening. A multimillionaire and a billionaire sitting around lamenting the birth rate decline. Elon Musk and Tucker Carlson discussed the urge to have sex, with Musk claiming birth control and abortions could cause civilization to collapse. Not extreme poverty, environmental issues. No, it's birth control and abortions. Because who wouldn't want to birth people into a society where food insecurity is still a thing, women's rights are being stripped, and extreme environmental issues are going on around us?
Hello everyone, this is Angela and welcome to my channel, Angie the ENTJ. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click on the notifications bell so you'll know whenever I upload any new content. Okay, so today's video is going to be about Elon Musk, and he spoke with Tucker Carlson on Fox News about his perspective on population decline. And first, before I go, let me give a shout out to Bourbon Bougie, because she's the one that I first saw this story. It was on her platform where I first saw this story. And shout out to all the other people I haven't named yet, but you'll see them in the credits, okay? So let me go into it. Since I've been creating videos on my channel, I have brought light to the missing 70+ million women on the planet, along with the overpopulation of men, as well as the real world impact of it all. And I brought it forth from an economic standpoint. However, Elon Musk believes that the world's population is on the decline due to abortions and birth control. And that is very simplistic. And to this I say, Elon, look, dude, listen, you and a lot of other dudes just don't get women or how we operate. So let me help you out a bit. You see, the same intelligence that created males on this planet created females on this planet too. Men, people like you, have protective and territorial instincts. That is a very masculine trait to have. You see it with lions and monkeys and cows and pigs. You name the species, so long as it has a male member, it tends to have these traits. Okay, so the male of that species has a way of marking its territory and protecting it. And the protection method, be it a beak, a tooth, a claw, that male of the species will protect its territory and the family within it. You see, everything about life so far you have experienced while living with an XY chromosomal combination, and that's your reality and all of the things that come with it. So it's safe to say, and I mean this very respectfully, that you lack what the feminine has as far as our own instincts. You do not possess our collective physiological or biochemical reality. And this means that you do not have a nesting instinct within you. You do not, nor will you ever. And here's the proof. The nesting instinct within a woman pushes her to want a home which is located in a safe and secure setting, where it is all right for her to be vulnerable without being exposed to threats. You know, she can walk around with the kiddos. She can go jogging with the stroller and not have to worry about somebody hitting her with a car or a bullet. You know, these kinds of things is what the nesting instinct drives us to do. And this is one of the many things that distinguishes the feminine from the masculine in nature, or in other words, us women from you men. You see, we women, we need houses, a decent and sizable stick-built home, and not a pop-up micro house, Elon. You know, the boxables are cute. They kind of remind me of an extended stay hotel room, and I actually hope to have one someday myself. But I'm telling you, the nesting instinct in us women don't want us to live in your boxable with an entire family. No, and I say that respectfully. I'm being real here. I think your products are nice, but the average woman is not looking forward to having that as a home. So back to the women's nesting instinct. You notice that the majority of homeless people in North America, especially the land of opportunity, are men. And for those who are not homeless, those men who are not homeless, I mean, they could easily survive on an air mattress with a TV and some satellite and not be bothered. Maybe a case of beer, they won't be bothered. Most of them. However, women by contrast are hardwired by nature to have a shelter, and this is because of that nesting instinct. And you don't have to believe me, a feminine one of our own human species. No, you don't have to believe me about what I'm saying as far as the nesting instinct is concerned. As a matter of fact, what you can simply do for free at that, you can observe the truth that I am telling you within nature. For instance, have you ever seen a mama bird build or create her nest in the middle of a busy highway? Go ahead and shake your head no. And the reason is obvious. It will be the equivalent of throwing away her offspring, right? Okay, well, we feminine human beings, those of us with uteruses and ovaries, dare I call us women, the biological ones, that is, okay, we are no different than that mama bird, the female of her species. Mama bird will build her nest with the best twigs that daddy bird brings, most times. And she builds it in trees or beneath overpasses or in the warm signs of a store near you. Because you see, from the bird's perspective, they use the best materials to build the best nest in the best location, which is not in the middle of a busy highway. Generally speaking, it's in a place that's going to be safe and secure, right? Well, Elon, mama human, in other words, women, the average woman is not going to risk her life birthing a child and in the end place her infant along with the cradle in the midst of a disastrous situation. You see, the true reason why the birth rates are decreasing is because external factors, very stressful external factors, such as housing costs, stagnant wages, and ongoing harassment by men, either in the workplace, in random public places, or even at home, just to name a few, is stressful enough to turn off our nesting instincts. We biological women have uteruses and ovaries. They fill up with endometrium and blood, which gets released every month for decades for our collective lives. We women can collectively go for long periods of time without having intimate relations. We biological women do not have testicles that back up with sperm to the point where we will screw anything just to blow a load. That's not how our limbic system rewards work, by the way. You had mentioned something about rewarding our limbic system. That's not how ours work. We have 2 X chromosomes and some ovaries and some breasts. They work differently than you and your XY chromosomes, okay? When we reach a goal, look good and feel good about ourselves, when we have good relationships with families and friends and even a significant other, or if we just eat a piece of chocolate or drink a glass of wine, that's the kind of stuff that we women typically find satisfying to our limbic system, not just blowing a load. We don't operate like that. And you are also wrong about your assessment that birth control and abortions are the reason why the population is declining. Wrong, all the way wrong. And it is proof that you just simply do not see things from our perspective because you are incapable of doing so. And it is for that reason alone that you need to have someone like me in the room with you to balance out the conversation. And no, for my naysayers or you, Elon, I'm not using this as an opportunity to plug myself in because of anything. You don't have to have me, but for goodness sake, have a biological woman who has some sense and not some freaking airhead with a womb who will agree with you just because you're Elon Musk, okay? Get someone who is real enough to tell you the truth regardless of who you are and what you believe. Now, let me get back to the facts. I don't have a prostate and you don't have a period. Okay. In addition to that, you don't have a vagina that someone would have to insert a bunch of equipment into in order to perform this very painful procedure. And that is only after they've placed you under anesthesia that you will soon, on top of that, have to take time to recover from. Your side of this equation, as far as creating children, does not involve pain. It does not involve the risk to your life or the loss of wages and work opportunities to bring forth your children. But our side of this equation does. Your side of this equation of creating your children did not involve you enduring permanent changes to your body or conditions such as incontinence or fistulas or fibroids. Your side of this equation does not involve your body and your presence literally being a food source for your offspring. Women are the ones who are most likely called on their jobs because the kid fell sick while they were in school and she has to pick him or her up in order to keep the other children from also falling ill. So women, Elon, are unlike you or the other dudes that you've been talking to. You see, you men, you get to blow your load, roll over, and fall asleep. Women, on the other hand, are literally left carrying the load, getting morning sickness, swollen ankles, and the grand life-threatening finale, pushing that load back out the way it came in by giving birth. No woman wants to do this again in the next 9 months or every 9 months, which is why we will collectively take birth control. And guess what? Somebody like me, I cannot even take it. I've tried to, and I began to develop a blood clot in my leg. Yes, you see, the side effects of birth control are so severe and range anything from gaining weight to forming blood clots. It's not like we're taking a daily vitamin, but it's worth it for our own health and our lifestyle. So if a woman wants to have 5 children but doesn't want to have 5 little kiddos under the age of 5 coming at her all at once, this would be the reason why she would reach for the birth control despite the side effects. It gives her the ability to space out the birth of her children in a way that makes it best for everyone, including her husband if she's married, and most importantly, their children. And by the way, doctors will not perform elective sterilizations on women unless they have already had children, and also after the woman has reached a certain age. So birth control is not the reason why the population is declining. You understand? That's not it. Abortion, going to that one, help with the population decline, particularly of women in Asia, but this is not true in Europe or the Americas. In Asia, gender-selective abortions were performed due to social and cultural norms, especially in India and China. However, in Europe and the Americas, abortions are not solely performed because the woman did not want to become a mother. There are medical reasons where a couple, yes, a man and a woman, would agree to an abortion even when they wanted to have the child, if it is seen that the child would not be viable outside of the womb. When a doctor, a trained medical professional that spent years of his or her life going to college, understanding the kind of advice that they're giving to a couple, then the couple may painfully agree to this procedure. In the cases where women in the U.S. abort healthy pregnancies, typically there is something going on that is threatening the nest, threatening her nesting instinct, that is. And generally speaking, it may be abuse. Maybe she found out that the father to the child, is married. Or it could have been an intimate assault, such as the one that we saw in Ohio, where a 10-year-old was impregnated by a 27-year-old that lived in a household with her. Either way, there's something going on with the relationship, that is, if there even is one, between her and the father of that child, and it's causing the nesting instincts of that mother to reject that pregnancy and reject that child. So in nature, offspring rejection is a reality. 10 times out of 10 in the wild, when a mother rejects her offspring, within nature that is, it is because it is unlikely to survive in the wild. Human mothers who reject their offspring have the same natural instinct. So what that should be telling you is that there is a threat to the nest, and that child may not survive. And all you need to do is turn on the news and see how many children died at the how many children were unalived at the hands of their own father? We see it in the news on a regular basis. So, listen, why is the population declining? Well, listen, look at how societies treat women in particular. Look at how societies treat the poor, treat children, But going back to the women, nothing about wearing a burqa and being beaten into my grave for not wearing a hijab, rest in peace, Masa Amini, is satisfying to a woman's nesting instinct. Neither is barely living on Section 8 and food stamps while raising the next generation of wage slaves. It's not appealing to the average woman. Being blamed for the population decline and having Roe versus Wade overturned, while at the same time the resources to raise the children become more and more expensive and scarce, is not appealing to our nesting instincts. Even The Economist magazine pointed out how societies that mistreat women are poorer than those who do not. Not birth controls and abortions. It's the way that the women are treated, not because of the birth control and the abortions. The United States in 2021, or I believe 2022, ranked at number 19 on the United Nations Human Development Index, or the UNHDI, prior to the overturning of Roe versus Wade. Now we have descended to a ranking of number 21 since it was overturned. So listen, congregating around with dudes and trying to figure out in a mechanical fashion how to kickstart us women into pushing babies out of our wombs is not going to work. What will work lies in what will boost our nesting instincts. Some examples of this involve stable, safe, and secure housing, an abundance of resources, transportation, and a solid infrastructure that allows us to live our lives with ease. Additionally, we need support systems such as daycare, infinite access to education and opportunities, and health care, along with the flexibility with regards to earning income. Those are the ways that are necessary to kickstart the growth of the population for both men and women. Okay, by addressing the things that matters most to us women, not the ones who side against us, by the way, but the ones who, like me, will tell you the truth regardless of who you are or what you represent. If the things that matter the most to women are addressed, okay, the population will grow consistently. Even if birth control and abortion were provided for free, and also without restrictions to its access, the population would still boom. You can have birth control pills in the stores on the shelf next to the Tylenol and the ibuprofen, okay? You can have abortion clinics on every single corner like Burger King, Wendy's, and McDonald's, Subway. And so long as the women's issues are addressed, then the population will blossom. And by the way, let me get you before some of y'all get started. No, we women are not stupid. You can't promise us the world and then 4 years later take it away from us either, while leaving us to wither away in the same conditions that we were collectively avoiding or fighting against. Women are not a game to play with. We're not toys, and we can see around corners quite well. So not listening to us is why I will paraphrase you, Elon, as you put it, quote unquote, civilization is currently whimpering away in geriatric diapers. Okay? Women could go a long time without having our backs blown out. Addressing our concerns and implementing changes that are beneficial not only to us but to our families and our communities would have to be long-term, sustainable, and ongoing, or you will continue to have a bunch of loaded up men who are backed up and they're all around the world with no outlets, along with the sales of adult diapers surpassing that of the baby diapers, and civilization, as you put it, whimpering away. So I have a lot to do right now, so I'm going to wrap this up. Elon, you know what you know. You're obviously brilliant in your own right. However, you don't know what you don't know either. Okay, you know what you know, but you don't know what you don't know. You do not know the day-to-day challenges of women simply living our lives, which include making sure that we have enough money for retirement savings while simultaneously having career interruptions to care for our children and our loved ones. while at the same time being called gold diggers for requiring our potential husbands and fathers of our children to have resources before, we date, marry, and make a baby. So please, the next time, before you speak on birth control and abortion, and as well as population growth, I strongly suggest that you have a more mature woman in the room with you who is not afraid to speak truth to power, and listen to her, because a bunch of dudes talking about issues that involve women is how we got here in the first place. In order for us to get away from this place where we're at, competent, and I emphasize competent, biological women will need to be included in on the conversation and need to be heard, and their suggestions implemented. So that's all I have for now. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click on the notifications bell so you'll know whenever I upload any new content. Take care until next time.
We've had enough of this nonsense.